Did you know that millions of years ago, there was a creature whose jaw looked like a spiral saw? That's right. Helicoprion, a prehistoric predator, had a jaw so bizarre that it confused scientists for decades. When the first Helicoprion fossils were discovered in the 19th century, no one could figure out what this creature looked like. The fossilized teeth didn't match anything anyone had ever seen before. They were arranged in a spiral, almost like the teeth of a buzzsaw. It was unlike anything in the natural world. For a long time, scientists were baffled. Some thought it might belong to an unknown species of shark. Others believed it could be a strange fish, but no one knew for sure. As more fossils were uncovered, the truth began to emerge. Helicoprion wasn't like any predator we know today. It was a one-of-a-kind creature that ruled the oceans during the Permian period. What makes Helicoprion even more fascinating is the mystery of its jaw. How did it use those spiral teeth? Did it help capture prey, or was it for something else entirely? This puzzle kept scientists guessing for years. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the mystery of Helicoprion's jaw, how it was discovered, and what made this creature an apex predator in its time. Prepare to uncover the secrets behind one of the most unusual creatures in prehistoric history. The story of Helicoprion begins in the 19th century in a cold and distant part of Russia. It was there that miners digging through ancient rock made an unexpected find. Deep inside the layers of stone, they uncovered a fossil that immediately caught their attention. It looked like a spiral, almost resembling the blade of a circular saw. At first, no one had any idea what it was. Was it some sort of plant? A piece of ancient machinery? Or perhaps something completely unknown to science? As scientists took a closer look at the fossil, they realized it was made of teeth. This only added to the confusion. How could teeth grow in such a strange spiral shape? Early researchers believed it might belong to a fish, but the mystery only deepened. Some even thought it could be the jaw of a prehistoric shark. The unusual spiral formation left even the most experienced paleontologists scratching their heads. No one had ever seen anything like it before. Among the first to study this fossil was Alexander Karpinski, a Russian paleontologist known for his keen scientific mind. He was determined to unlock the secrets of this strange discovery. In 1899, Karpinski published a study in which he suggested that the spiral might be part of a lower jaw. He thought it belonged to a fish with a long, saw-shaped mouth, which could have been used to cut through prey. While Karpinski's theory was creative and insightful, it wasn't entirely correct, but his work set the stage for further exploration into the mystery of this creature. For years, the fossil remained an enigma. Scientists had no complete skeleton to work with, so they could only guess. Some believed the spiral was part of the creature's tail. Others thought it might have been a defensive structure. A few even suggested it could have been a feeding adaptation, used for catching or cutting prey. But with so little evidence to go on, it was difficult to make any firm conclusions. The breakthrough didn't come until the 20th century. As more fossils were discovered, scientists began to piece together the puzzle of Helicoprion's anatomy. Advanced technology like CT scans made a huge difference. These scans allowed researchers to look inside the fossils without damaging them, revealing details that were previously hidden. When they examined the fossil under these advanced methods, it became clear that the spiral of teeth was part of the lower jaw. The teeth were tightly coiled and appeared to be perfectly designed for slicing through prey. This revelation changed everything. The discovery of Helicoprion's jaw gave scientists new insight into how evolution can create such specialized and unique creatures. The spiral teeth were not just a random feature. They were a highly effective tool for catching and cutting through food. However, despite all the advancements in technology, many questions remain. Why did Helicoprion evolve teeth in such a strange spiral shape? How exactly did it use those teeth to hunt its prey? And why did no other animal evolve a similar jaw structure? The story of Helicoprion's discovery is a testament to the persistence of scientists and their curiosity to understand the unknown. From the coal mines of Russia to modern labs with the latest imaging technology, the search for answers continues to captivate paleontologists and dinosaur enthusiasts. Every new discovery brings us closer to understanding the fascinating and mysterious world of prehistoric life. The Helicoprion, with its spiral jaw, will always be one of the most intriguing creatures in the history of paleontology. Helicoprion was far from being a typical sea creature. It was a predator of medium size, growing to around 10 to 12 feet long. But what truly made it stand out was its appearance. Unlike anything seen before, Helicoprion's most striking feature was its jaw. Its teeth were arranged in a spiral, almost like a buzzsaw. The teeth were sharp and serrated, curling tightly inwards to form a spiral that resembled the cutting edge of a circular saw. For many years, scientists had no idea what to make of this spiral-shaped jaw. how could such a jaw work? How could it be used by a predator? Some researchers believe that Helicoprion used its spiral teeth, much like a buzzsaw, slicing through the flesh of its prey. Others thought the teeth might have been designed to grab and hold on to prey. Whatever the case, the spiral teeth inside its jaw were unlike anything seen in today's animals. But the real mystery wasn't just about the teeth. The real question was about how these spiral teeth were positioned inside the creature's mouth. Was the jaw flat like a shark's, or did the spiral teeth sit differently? For years, scientists struggled to agree on the exact position of those teeth. Theories changed, and as new fossils were found, the puzzle became even more complicated. Some believed the jaw might have been able to extend or retract, but without a complete skeleton, it was impossible to say for sure. Each new discovery raised even more questions than answers. It wasn't until the 20th century that breakthroughs started to unfold. Modern technology, particularly CT scans, allowed scientists to look inside the skulls of Helicoprion fossils without damaging them. These scans gave scientists a much clearer picture of how the creature's jaw worked. They revealed that the spiral teeth were part of the lower jaw and were positioned in a way that made them effective tools for grabbing and cutting. It became clear that these teeth were perfectly designed to tear into the flesh of its prey. As scientists continued their research, they used 3D reconstructions to rebuild Helicoprion's jaw virtually, helping them understand how its spiral teeth functioned. These virtual reconstructions gave us a better idea of how Helicoprion hunted. Imagine those spiral teeth acting like hooks, grabbing onto the flesh of a fish and holding it tightly in place. Then the creature would slice through its prey with the sharp edges of its spiral teeth, almost like a buzzsaw cutting through wood. These new findings, combined with technology, helped scientists piece together a more detailed image of how Helicoprion fed and survived in its ancient world. But even with all the new discoveries, Helicoprion's anatomy still holds some mysteries. We now understand how its spiral teeth worked, but there's still so much we don't know. How exactly did Helicoprion use its jaw in the wild? How did it hunt and feed? Despite all the advances in research, these questions remain a fascinating topic for paleontologists. What we do know for sure is that Helicoprion was a uniquely evolved predator, with its spiral jaw serving as a powerful tool for survival in its ancient ocean. And that's what makes it such an intriguing creature to study. During the Permian period, over 250 million years ago, the oceans were teeming with life. It wasn't like today, but the seas were rich with a variety of creatures, many of which we can only imagine now. The warm, shallow seas provided a perfect environment for predators like Helicoprion to thrive. Helicoprion swam in these waters, hunting for smaller creatures in the same way today's sharks rule the oceans. These seas were filled with other marine life, large fish, ancient relatives of squid, and different types of marine arthropods. Helicoprion's habitat was alive with movement, but it had the advantage of being one of the top predators of its time. But what made these oceans so different from the ones we know today? The seas were warmer, and the marine life was more diverse in ways we don't always see now. Creatures like the ancient ammonites, distant relatives of squids and octopuses, filled the waters. There were also strange early fish and armored predators roaming the seas. Helicoprion, with its spiral jaw, was right at home in this bustling ecosystem. So how did Helicoprion use its unique jaw in these waters? Its spiral teeth weren't just for decoration, they were tools for hunting. It's believed that Helicoprion used its spiral teeth to grab onto prey, maybe even pulling it toward its mouth to tear apart the flesh. The spiral teeth might have been like hooks, hooking into the body of the prey and holding on tight while Helicoprion moved in for the kill. Much like today's sharks, Helicoprion was built for speed and efficiency. When comparing Helicoprion to modern sharks, we can see a few similarities. Like sharks today, Helicoprion was likely an opportunistic hunter, moving through the water in search of anything it could catch. It probably hunted smaller fish and maybe even larger creatures, using its spiral teeth to hold onto them while it fed. Just like a shark's powerful jaws today, Helicoprion's spiral teeth made it a fearsome predator in its time. But Helicoprion wasn't just another predator in the food chain, it was an apex predator in the Permian seas. In an ocean filled with other predators, Helicoprion stood out. It played a crucial role in maintaining balance in the ecosystem. As a top predator, it helped control the population of smaller marine life, which in turn kept the ecosystem in check. The creatures Helicoprion hunted were part of the bigger picture, helping to maintain a healthy, thriving environment in the oceans. Even though the seas were filled with different kinds of predators, Helicoprion's spiral teeth made it one of the most unique and dangerous hunters of the time. It wasn't just a creature that swam in the waters, it was a key part of the marine world of the Permian period. Its role as an apex predator made it a vital piece of the puzzle in the ocean's ecosystem. When scientists first discovered Helicoprion's fossils, they were left scratching their heads. The spiral jaw was unlike anything they had seen before, and no one could agree on how it worked. Some early theories suggested that the spiral teeth were used for grabbing and holding onto prey, almost like a hook. Others thought the teeth were for cutting, similar to how a saw blade slices through the material. The jaw was so unique that it sparked a variety of debates among paleontologists, each offering different ideas about how this strange feature functioned. One theory suggested that Helicoprion used its spiral jaw to grab fish, wrapping the teeth around its prey and holding it tight while the creature swallowed. Another idea was that the spiral teeth acted like a cutting tool, allowing Helicoprion to slice through the flesh of its prey with precision. But how could such a strange jaw work? How did it fit into the rest of the animal's anatomy? No one could figure it out for sure, and the mystery only deepened. Then, in the 20th century, breakthroughs began to happen. Advances in technology like CT scans and 3D modeling allowed scientists to examine Helicoprion's fossils in ways they never could before. For years, paleontologists had been limited to studying the bones and teeth of the creature, trying to piece together the puzzle. But CT scans opened up a new world of possibilities. Scientists could now look inside the fossilized skull and visualize how the spiral jaw was positioned and how it might have functioned. These new tools gave paleontologists a better understanding of the creature's anatomy. By using 3D modeling, they could digitally reconstruct the skull and jaw of Helicoprion, showing how the spiral teeth fit together and how they might have worked in real life. The 3D models revealed that the spiral teeth were part of the lower jaw, and they likely functioned like a tool for cutting or grabbing prey. The ability to see inside the fossils in such detail helped solve some of the mysteries that had been puzzling scientists for decades. But why did this mystery matter so much? Understanding Helicoprion's spiral jaw wasn't just important for solving a single puzzle. It had bigger implications for the world of paleontology and evolutionary biology. The way Helicoprion's jaw worked might offer insights into how other ancient marine creatures evolved and how their features helped them survive in the ocean. It also helped scientists understand the broader story of evolution, showing how unique adaptations developed over time to suit the needs of different creatures. Connecting Helicoprion to other marine animals is another crucial part of the story. By understanding how its jaw functioned, scientists could learn more about the evolutionary pathways of other predators in the ocean, and even how the features of today's marine creatures came to be. The spiral jaw of Helicoprion wasn't just a fascinating oddity, it was a piece of a larger puzzle that helped scientists understand the evolution of life in the seas. When comparing Helicoprion to today's sharks, you can already see some interesting similarities and differences. Sharks today are known for their powerful jaws and sharp teeth, perfect for catching and tearing through prey. In many ways, Helicoprion shared a similar role in the ancient seas as a skilled predator. However, its spiral jaw made it stand out. Sharks use their sharp teeth to bite and rip, while Helicoprion's spiral teeth likely worked more like a tool for grabbing and cutting prey, a very different approach to feeding. Helicoprion's teeth set it apart from the sharks of its time. But when you look even further back, you start to see connections to other prehistoric creatures. One of the closest relatives of Helicoprion was the ancient fish known as Dunkleosteus, a massive armored predator that lived during the Devonian period. While Dunkleosteus had a jaw strong enough to crush through its prey's armor, Helicoprion used its spiral teeth more precisely, likely cutting through soft-bodied prey. Both creatures were apex predators, but their feeding strategies were very different. Then there were the placoderms, another group of early armored fish. These creatures were among the first to develop strong jaws, much like Helicoprion, but they didn't have the same specialized spiral teeth. Instead, they had more conventional jaws with blunt teeth, suited for crushing. Helicoprion's spiral teeth therefore represented an evolutionary experiment in jaw mechanics, an adaptation that set it apart in the ancient marine food chain. Now let's talk about Helicoprion's teeth. They didn't evolve like the teeth of modern sharks or most fish. While sharks and many fish develop a set of teeth in rows that they can replace over time, Helicoprion's teeth are unique. The spiral arrangement was likely an adaptation to the prey it hunted, soft-bodied creatures that required a different method of attack. The teeth of Helicoprion tell us a lot about its place in the evolutionary tree, showing how early fish species were experimenting with different ways to catch and consume food. This evolutionary connection also highlights the variety of adaptations that marine life underwent during the prehistoric era. Helicoprion's spiral teeth weren't just a freak of nature. They were a result of millions of years of evolution, as different species developed specialized features to fit their environments. Just like modern sharks, Helicoprion was a predator that played a significant role in its ecosystem, but it did so in its unique way. This comparison shows us just how much diversity existed in prehistoric marine life. Each species, from Helicoprion to Dunkleosteus, developed its own set of tools to thrive in a competitive environment, and each of these creatures leaves behind clues that help scientists piece together the story of life in the ancient seas. To wrap things up, let's take a moment to reflect on Helicoprion. Its spiral jaw is still one of the most puzzling features ever found in a prehistoric creature. For years, scientists couldn't figure out how this jaw worked. But thanks to modern technology like CT scans, we now have a much clearer picture of this unique predator. Helicoprion was an apex predator in the Permian Seas, and its unusual teeth were key to its success in catching prey. Despite all the progress we've made, it's still fascinating to think about how much we don't know. Helicoprion is just one example of how the ocean's past is full of strange creatures that we may never fully understand. In the end, Helicoprion reminds us that there is still so much left to explore about life long before humans existed. The mysteries of the deep ocean, filled with creatures like this one, continue to captivate and challenge our understanding. There's still so much to learn, and Helicoprion's story is far from over. If you want to explore more prehistoric creatures and the mysteries of our planet's past, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Stay curious and keep exploring the ancient world with us.